What's going on, guys? We're here to break down UFC Fight Night Pereira versus Hernandez. We're back in the Apex, fellas. Who would have thunk it? Obviously, Uncle Dana's going to give us a bunch of these Apex cards. But hey, man, we're still going to break them down, give you this content. Moving on to the first fight of the night. We have Robell Disbane taking on Austin Lane. Robell, man, he came into the UFC with a lot of hype, got fraud checked in his last fight. High level striking taekwondo skills, a big man that can move and throw crazy striking techniques and get finishes from all over the place, but he needs to work on his MMA game. And then Austin Lane, we have your typical football guy trying MMA who's not that good, just a dime a dozen heavyweight that's just going, he's a sacrificial lamb, man. They're trying to build up this Bane off Lane's name. Give me your thoughts on this.
Yeah, man, we starting off the night with a couple heavyweights. I'm liking it, man. Both these guys are freaking giants. I think they're like what, 6'6", 6'7" type.
6'7" versus 6'6".
Crazy, man. Austin Lane has been winless in the UFC, man, since getting that win on the Contender Series. Seems like that was the end of it. He's coming off two straight knockout losses, man. That's never a good victory. I think they're trying to set up my guy Spain.
Yep.
Trying to get him an easy knockout, get his hype train back because he did get fraud checked. But my prediction, I'm gonna have to go with Robella's TKO in the second round. I think he's gonna get him out of there quick, man.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. They're setting it up for Robellis to get the show stop and finish, and I think that's exactly what he's gonna get. Austin Lane, I don't think he's UFC caliber heavyweight. He looks like an elite heavyweight, but he just can't fight like one, man. I'm going with Robellis Disbane by knockout in this matchup. Moving on to the second fight of the night, we have an absolute banger. Two absolute killers. Alice Ardelane taking on Melissa Martinez. Alice Ardelane's coming in as the slight underdog, plus 130. Melissa Martinez, the Mexican fighter, is a slight favorite in minus 155. Martinez is coming in with a 2-inch reach advantage, but she's 1 inch shorter than her opponent, Ardelane. Give me your initial thoughts on this matchup.
Listen, guys, let me give you a high-level breakdown right now. Alice Ardelane is a certified baddie, so she gonna win.
Shawty
No,
is a baddie.
I'm just kidding. At least does have good stand-up. And fun fact here, she actually fought Weili Zhang back in 2016. So she's been in the game for a minute, man. That's why I like her. She's also, kind of a baddie. Melissa on the other side, she's also a good striker. So this should be a good, good battle on the feet. Melissa last fought September 2022 and hasn't fought before that since 2019. So a lot of inactivity with her. I think this is an easy matchup for at least Ardelane to win. Even if it was a close fight, the judge is going to give it to the prettier girl. You could quote me on that. So I think she gets this done unanimous decision. Prettier girl, and she's way more active. So easy.
Yeah, Martinez hasn't been active, but I'm gonna have to go with Martinez in this matchup, man. I think she's bringing that. She's bringing that. She's gonna have the better grappling in this matchup, regardless of what happens. The opponent she's fighting is from Romania. Romania is not known for their grappling. These Mexican shorties in the UFC, as we see, man, they can all strike and they can all wrestle. Are they elite at wrestling? No, but they're competent enough to implement it in UFC fights. I'm going to go with Melissa Martinez. She's definitely going to have the striking edge, and I think she also has the grappling edge. So how can you not pick her? I'm going Melissa Martinez by decision.
Listen,
But
don't
yeah,
let that record fool you, all right? But we'll find out fight night.
yeah, man. Moving on to the next fight, another absolute banger. We got Jessica Penne taking on Elise Reed, man. Absolutely tantalizing matchup in the women's strawweight division. Yes, the strawweight division. That's how much I know about these two fighters. Give me your thoughts on this.
Man, another high level breakdown right here. Jessica Penne is 41 years old. Enough said. Wrap it up. At least Reed got this in the bag.
I'm 100%.
Fun
100%
fact,
in
at least
agreement.
Reed did beat your girl Melissa Martinez, who's fighting before her. You know what I'm saying? Penny is a solid grappler overall. Reed is this better striker here, but I think the youth will be too much, man. I think the younger at least Reed gets it done by UD.
Yeah, man. At least Reed, her last fight, she lost to Lupita Godinez. I saw that fight. She lost by a rear naked choke. But man, Lupita's a beast, man. She fights frequently. She fights often. She's down. She's very game. She's game anywhere in the grappling and the striking. So at least there's no shame in losing to Lupita. She does have a win over Jin Fry. I do think Jin Fry is a good fighter, but she was an atomweight champion outside the UFC. As we all know, there is no women's atomweight division in the UFC. So Jin Fry came in. She had to move up to 115. She's a really technical fighter, so that is an impressive win for me. But she's undersized, man. So I don't really credit that win over Jinu Fry that much. But Jessica Penne, on the other hand, man, she's 41, man, nearly 42 years old in combat. You know what I'm saying? How can you pick that? So I'm definitely gonna have to go with Elise Reed. I'm not too confident on it. Women's MMA, you really never know. But I'm gonna go Elise Reed. I think she'll grind out a decision. On to the next matchup. We have Jocelyn Edwards taking on Tamires Vidal. Give me your thoughts on this matchup. Jocelyn's coming in as the minus 215 favorite. What do you think?
Yeah, Edwards is a big favorite here. Vidal is 1-2 since coming to the UFC. She is a solid grappler, but I just think Edwards is the better striker. And Vidal's coming off a knockout loss back in May. I think it might be too soon for her to come back after that. So I'm gonna have to go with the heavy favorite here. I'm gonna have to go with Jocelyn Edwards to get this done via unanimous decision. Just has more experience being in there than her.
Yeah, man. I don't know about this fight because both fighters are on a two-fight UFC losing streak. Jocelyn is 29 years old, but Vidal is 26 years old. Both fighters are young. Both fighters are on loser streaks. It seems like the UFC is trying to set up a loser leaves town type of matchup. And as we all know, when they set up fighters that are both on loser streaks against each other, we get a war guaranteed. 1000%. When they're fighting, when both fighters are fighting for their jobs, those motherfuckers come to fight. You know what I'm saying? So I am gonna go with Jocelyn Edwards. She is the minus 215 favorite for a reason. I don't think she's gonna get a stoppage victory by any means. I don't think she has a clear edge in submissions or the striking, but I do think she's gonna be able to piece her up and get a clear decision over Vidal. Moving on to the next matchup, we have Brad Katona taking on Gene Matsumoto. Katona in the contender series, he looked really good. A lot of people had a lot of high hopes for Katona, man. He's worked his way back into the UFC. He's 2-1 currently in his second stint in the UFC. He's trying to live up to the potential that the fans were praising upon him initially in his UFC in his first stint in the UFC. But Gene Matsumoto, on the other hand, man, 15-0 coming into the UFC. He won the contender series matchup by decision unanimously, and then he has a submission victory over Dan Argueta, who just recently fought last weekend by guillotine choke. Matsumoto's coming in as the minus 245 favorite. He's 25 years old, and he has a 4-inch reach advantage over Katona, who's 32 years of age. What do you think about this?
Yeah, man, a lot of hype behind Gene Matsumoto, the undefeated Gene Matsumoto, solid grappler. The fact that he's a favorite over Brad Katona, who has a much better resume, who's a solid vet. I know he's on the much older side, but this is not a layup for Gene Matsumoto. So this is gonna be a banger fight. Brad Katona definitely has fought better competition. He lost to Merab Dvalishvili, but he did beat Bryce Mitchell back in the day and also beat Timur Valiev, I think, who's a Dagestani. I think is Islam's boy. So, solid resume, man. Solid resume. I think it's a pretty even matchup, but I think Gene Matsumoto is that dog in that division. I think he's a new star in there. I'm gonna have to go with him, and I think he gets his job. I think he gets this one done easy.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm definitely on the hype train for Gene Matsumoto, man. I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon early. I do think he has I think he has future in the bantamweight division, man. I think he's gonna be a stud. I'm going Gene Matsumoto. I think he's not gonna finish Katona. Katona's a game opponent. He's a beast. He's coming with high level skills in his own right. But Gene Matsumoto is just too hot. He's too young. He's coming in with the reach. He's gonna get this one done by decision, in my opinion. Moving on to the next matchup in the men's flyweight division, we have Matheus Nicolau taking on Asu Almabayev. Nicolau's coming in as a slight underdog, surprisingly, over Asu. Nicolau has the 1-inch reach advantage, and he's 2 inches taller in height. Give me your initial thoughts on this matchup?
No surprise here, man. Almabayev is the heavy favorite here, and for good reason, man. Dude is a dog. His last loss was back in 2017, and He's been on a win streak ever since. One of those L's, I think he has 2 L's on his record. I think one of those L's is to Tagir Ulanbekov, who's part of Team Khabib and a beast in that division as well. Mateus Nicolau has been on a 2-fight knockout losing streak, so that's never a good recipe. He is a vet though with wins over Manel Cobb, Tim Elliott. I do suspect Nicolau is a little bit chinny. He does tend to get knocked out. So I think this is an easy matchup for Almabayev. Should be a good competitive fight nonetheless. But I think Almabayev gets this done by TKO. Stop playing with these Kazakhs, man.
Yeah, man. You know our rules, man. If you from Kazakhstan, Dagestan, anything that ends in a stan, you're gonna win. You know
You
what
a
I'm
stan?
saying?
I'm a
Mateus
fan. No diddy.
Nicolau's coming off two KO losses in his last 2 fights. He got TKO'd by Alex Perez and he got TKO'd by Raw Dog Brandon Royval. So it's hard to go with somebody who's coming off 2 losses by way of TKO. And the latest knockout loss against Alex Perez was less than 6 months ago. And he's already fighting a killer in Asu Almabayev. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's a recipe for disaster. I think Asu's going to get a highlight reel victory over the veteran in Mateusz Nicolau. Moving on to the main card, we have Darren the Damage Elkins taking on Daniel Pineda. I love me some Darren Elkins, man. This kid, not a kid, man. He's a freaking 40-year-old man, but he is a stud. He is a beast. He embodies everything what it means to be a true warrior. But he is 40 years old. Pineda on the other side is 39 years old. It's two older veteran fighters going at it. They both stand and bang. They both can grapple a little bit. Darren Elkins, I do think, definitely has the grappling edge. He's 3 inches taller, has a 2-inch reach advantage over Pineda. Give me your initial thoughts on this.
Bro, I had to change my pick a couple times with this one. Both older fighters here. Like I said, some of these fights are coin flips, man. It's 50-50 either way. Both older fighters here, almost 40 years old. One is 40, one's 39, so might as well. Both also have 28 wins on their record. So the winner of this will be at 29. Like I said, pretty much a coin toss. Pineda is the better grappler, and
Is he
does
though?
he has a lot of submissions on his record, man. He has a lot of submissions on his record. Elkins also has good wrestling. So it's gonna be interesting to see who takes this one. Shit, this one just might be a draw, man. But if I had to predict, I'm gonna have to go with Darren Elkins to win this by unanimous decision. He is the bigger fighter here, and I don't think Pineda has what it takes anymore, unfortunately. Pineda does have a chance to get this one by submission, but I just feel like that might be unlikely.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I'm agreeing with you. I don't know who to pick in this matchup. Both guys are similar profiles. Both guys are pretty much 40 years of age. Both guys are veterans. Both guys have similar amounts of fights. They have like 40 plus fights. Elkins is bigger. He does have the wrestling edge. I would say Pineda definitely has the jiu-jitsu edge. He definitely has a bunch of chokes that he can go to. On the feet, Elkins, as we all know, his strategy on the feet is, hey man, you could punch me 6 times. I just, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take it all and I'm gonna out cardio you. He's gonna hit you with that Colby Covington style. He's gonna try to hit you with that pace and put that damage on you, befitting his nickname. But I think I'm gonna have to go Pineda in this matchup, man. Darren Elkins, man. He's 40 years. He's almost 41, man. It's just so hard to pick him. But Pineda on the other side is 39 years old, but he just turned 39 years old. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna go Darren Elkins by decision, man. That's tough though.
So
That's
we
tough.
agreeing on this one.
Yeah. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Pineda does have 19 submissions on his record, man. 19 of his 28 wins are by submissions. Dude is a
Yeah,
he
it's a
got it.
true coin flip fight, man. It's a
You
true
really
coin
don't
flip
know.
fight.
Yeah, you really don't know. It would have been better if you went on the other side, but it's all right. We could be on the same
I'll go
side.
with Pineda. Just for the video. I'll
It's
go
all
with
good.
Pineda. Nah. Just for the vid. You feel me? I'll go with Pineda for the vid. Moving
Let's move on.
on to the next matchup. We have Brady Heisten taking on Jake Hadley. Hadley, a lot of people thought he was going to be a good fighter in bantamweight division, but he hasn't been living up to the hype. He is 2-3. He is 3-2 in his last 5 in the UFC. On the other side, we have the slight favorite, Brady Heisten. He's coming in with a 3-fight UFC win streak. 25 years of age. Hadley on the other side is 28. What do you think about this matchup?
Hey, man, I think you meant to say in the flyweight division because Jake Hadley just moved up. to the bantamweight division, and he's been looking good, man. But I'm
Yeah, yeah. Pardon
surprised
me,
to
pardon
see.
me.
But I'm surprised to see Brady Heisten being the favorite here because I'm big on Jake Hadley, man. I wanted to see Hadley versus Makai showdown. I know they had a little back and forth on Twitter or X. So like I said before, Hadley did recently move up to bantamweight. He used to fly at flyweight. He missed weight last time, but and got the unanimous decision victory. I think hopefully he's gonna be on point this come around. Brady Heisten on the other side seems to be rolling since coming to the UFC. He lost his debut, but has been on fire since. I do believe Hadley is the better striker in this matchup, but Brady is the better grappler. Although Hadley is no slouch on the ground either, it's a pretty even fight. You could go back and forth with this one all day. Like I said, another coin flip. I'm gonna have to go with Jake Hadley. I'm big on him. I think he's gonna get this one by unanimous decision. This is a new division for him, and this should be a good matchup, man. I'm hyped.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one. I'm gonna have to go with Brady Highstand in this matchup. He has the 1 inch height advantage, he has the 1 inch reach advantage, and he's coming in hot. 3 fight win streak in the UFC after losing a split decision in his debut against Ricky Tercios. Tercios is a beast, man, in his own right. I'm not saying he's a championship level fighter, but he is a quality UFC level fighter. And he fought him to a split decision. He did lose, but it was close. And then after that, he's gone on to win by unanimous decision and submission and KO TKO. So he has a victory by all methods. He's looking good early on in his UFC career. I'm gonna have to go with Brady Heisten. He's coming in with the momentum. I'm gonna go Brady by decision. Moving on. We have the flyweight matchup between Sue Madarji taking on Charles Johnson. Sue is the slight underdog. Charles Johnson coming in minus 210. Sue is 28. Johnson's 33. Sue's coming in with at 5'8". Johnson's 5'9". Sue has the 2 inch reach advantage over Charles Johnson. I do think Charles Johnson is coming in with the striking advantage in this matchup. He trains out of Tiger Muay Thai. As we all know, there's a bunch of the killers gather at Tiger Muay Thai. Peter Yan, DDP, Izzy Adesanya. Many high level elite strikers have trained at Tiger Muay Thai over the course of their careers, and Charles Johnson is one of them. I'm gonna go on a limb and say Charles Johnson's gonna win this by TKO. But give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, not really going on a limb right there. I have to agree with you. Charles Johnson coming off a win against our boy Joshua Van and Jake Hadley, surprisingly, and I'm big on both those guys. So that's a solid resume right there. Sumaderji, solid striking. He does tend to get finished a lot on the ground. I think all his losses, all 6 of his losses are from submissions. So clear weakness right there. I think Charles Johnson has an easy path to victory. If you could see that, easy path to victory for him. Just got to get him to the ground and submit him. So I think that's going to be an area that Charles Johnson does take advantage of, and I'm going to have to go with my prediction being that Charles Johnson gets him with the submission, man.
Yeah, man. We're both in agreement on
our
that
guy.
one. Yeah, we're both agreeing on that one. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening, we have Boston's finest, New England's finest, Rob Font coming back, trying to get back in his winning ways. But he's taking on a young killer in the bantamweight division in Kyler Phillips. Man, I want to see Rob Font get it done, man. But he is 37 years old. He's coming off some bad. He's 1-4 in his last 5, man. It's sad to see. Rob Font used to be a killer at 135. He was on a big win streak, but man, how the times have changed. What do you think about this matchup?
I think Rob Font is playing spoiler again. Kyler Phillips is a big favorite going into this matchup. 29 years old. Rob Font on the other side is 37. The issue with Rob Font is he's just been fighting killers, man. Nothing but straight killers in the division. So, he's coming off a loss against Figgy, coming off a loss against Sandhagen.
Jose Aldo, Chito Vera, just elite
That's what I'm
of
saying,
elite.
man. He did on those L's, in between those L's, he did fraud check Adrian Yanez in between. You know what I'm saying? Took a little break from losing. So can you really count Rob Font out? You feel me? It's not as easy as it looks, but Kyler Phillips just has to live up to the hype, man. He does have
I'm not gonna lie.
Song Yadong.
I'm not gonna lie. Rob Font got the best jab in the game, man. He be landed that
solid
jab
boxer.
so frequently.
I'm hyped for this
man.
fight.
You know what I mean? Yo, Rob Font's a beast.
It's just, I'm telling you, it's that age, man. I feel like once you get to a certain age, man, you kind of start to take a step, start to slow down, lose a step. But like I was saying, Kyler Phillips does have notable wins over Song Yadong, Pedro Munoz, Ronnie Barcelos. So this fight should be a banger, man. Likely could be the fight of the night. Will Kyler Phillips get fraud checked by Rob Font?
He
Or
lost to
does he live up
Paiva.
to the hype? But that was the only one. That's the only one. You feel me? That was the only one. That
That's
was a
a
pretty good
you know what I
fight
mean.
too.
But losing to Paiva is crazy.
Hey, listen, MMA math doesn't always add up. So my prediction, I'm gonna have to go with the younger, the hungrier Kyler Phillips to get this done. But don't sleep on Rob Font, man. Dude has a tendency of derailing a lot of parlays, derailing a lot of hype trains, man. So I'm gonna have to go with Kyler Phillips,
Yeah,
but
man.
live underdog.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I do think Kyler Phillips is unfortunately gonna get the job done over my man Rob Font. It's just this game, man. MMA is a brutal game. It does not wait for anyone. Once you get take too much damage, once you get a little bit older, it's over, man. The young guy wins. He doesn't even necessarily have to have an edge in any of the elements, man. He doesn't even need to have an edge in striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, nothing. He just wins off youth. You know what I'm saying? It is sad to see. I do think Kyler Phillips is gonna win. I even think he's gonna knock him out, man. Unfortunately, Rob Font, every time he gets hit with something big, man, he's not. I don't like the way he's reacting anymore. It is sad. If he doesn't get hit by anything big, though, Rob Font definitely could, fuck up a lot of parlays. He has very crisp boxing, and that jab is just piecing you up all night. Very active jab. That's how he keeps people away from him. It's so hard to get in close and hurt him because of that jab. But I do think Kyler Phillips, his chin is good. He's gonna be able to avoid that jab, just walk through the jab and land what he needs to land. And once Rob Font is rocked, I think it's over with, man. Moving on to the main event of the evening, we have Michel Pereira taking on Fluffy Anthony Hernandez. This is a crazy fight. All the hardcores know this fight's about to be a banger. Fluffy's coming in with that stand and bang, that sprawl and brawl, and he's coming in with that elite jiu-jitsu. On the other side, we have Michel Pereira coming in with the huge win streak. Michel Pereira is quietly on an 8-fight win streak. Alexander Hernandez is also, I believe, on an 8-fight win streak. It's a crazy, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry. Hernandez coming in on a 5-fight win streak. Michel Pereira coming in with an 8-fight win streak. Absolutely crazy matchup. Pereira's the underdog, even though he's coming in with 8 wins in a row. That just goes to show you how dangerous Fluffy is. Don't let that nickname fool you, man. He's a killer. Give me your thoughts on this.
Man's name Fluffy, but straight killer, man. Big favorite in this one. But how do
Slight.
you slightly?
Yeah, it's minus 160.
Oh, okay. But how do you go against middleweight Michel Pereira, man? He's
Yeah.
just been
Looking like an
absolutely
animal.
on fire. On the other side, Anthony Hernandez, his last loss was to Kevin Holland back in 2020 and currently on a 5-fight win
Yo,
streak.
2020 Kevin Holland's a mythical creature, though. A mythical fighter.
Bro, he was championship material, man. He was knocking people
In
out. He
that
knocked
one
out Joaquin
particular year,
Buckley.
he would have beat Habib. 2020 Kevin Holland won't lose to anybody. You know what I'm saying? He's a mythical fighter. Don't count that loss.
Pandemic Kevin Holland was a beast, man. He was knocking these motherfuckers
Yo, the
out.
pandemic turned my
All
boy
kinds of
into a
divisions.
demon. But yeah, anyways, going back to the fight, man. Give me your thoughts on
Excellent
it.
fight, man. Yeah, this is an exciting matchup, man. Middleweight Michel Pereira is also a mythical creature, bro. He's a mythical fighter, bro. He hasn't lost yet.
Straight
And
up.
every time I picked him to lose, he's just proving me wrong. So I'm surprised, man. This is a very close matchup. Should be a banger going both ways. How do you think Hernandez does with him, man?
Look, man, I think Hernandez is gonna grind out a decision. It's a 5-round fight. I think Michel Pereira is gonna come out hot. I think there is an edge in the striking for Pereira. I definitely think Pereira is very dangerous on the feet. Very dangerous on the feet. You do not want to stand and bang with Michel Pereira. He's an animal. He throws crazy strikes. He'll throw flying knees. He'll throw spinning kicks. He'll jump on your freaking stomach when you're on the ground and in the guard position. Michel Pereira's an absolute wild man. They don't call him the Demolidor for no reason. But Fluffy Hernandez, man, he has a gas tank. He's very dangerous all rounds. He's very quick in snatching submissions and finishing the fight. And on the feet, he's not your classic submission artist on the feet. Most submission guys on the feet, they're timid, they're shy, they don't throw enough volume. Fluffy Hernandez comes to stand and bang. I'm not saying he's an absolute technician, but he's not afraid to mix it up. He's very game on the feet, and he's extremely dangerous on the ground with his jiu-jitsu. It's a crazy matchup. It's close, man. But I think Hernandez is gonna, if it because of the 5 rounds, man. I don't think Michel Pereira's big ass is gonna keep that 5 round pace with Fluffy, man. I got Fluffy by unanimous decision in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I think Michel Pereira does have the gas tank issue. He does tend to gas out. He's a big dude, carries a lot of muscle, and he does do a lot of explosive activity in that octagon, especially in the first couple rounds. So I could see why that would be an area of concern for Michel Pereira. That gas tank is gonna be a big problem. I think Anthony Hernandez is gonna put it on him. So I think if this fight goes 5 rounds, I think Anthony Hernandez should get the job done. Shouldn't be too difficult, but this is gonna be a great matchup, man. I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't put any change on this matchup. It's an extremely close fight in the middleweight division. The winner of this fight is definitely moving on to the top 10. The winner of this matchup is gonna work their way into bigger opportunities. And the winner of this fight, in my opinion, is 2 fights away from a title fight if they could keep winning. So it's a high stakes matchup. Both guys are 31 years of age. Both guys are entering their primes. I'm going Fluffy, man, but hey, don't put some change on it because Michel Pereira is very dangerous. Anything could happen in this main event. Very exciting main event. I can't wait to see it. We're going with Fluffy Hernandez, and that's Full Guard MMA, and we out of here.
Peace.